On August 30th, Beaver Meadows Police Chief Michael Morrissey testified before the House State Government Committee, along with a number of other people and agencies, about a package of immigration reform bills known as National Security Begins at Home. His testimony centered on police stops involving illegal immigrants, stops which have been occurring more frequently. State law allows him to confiscate fake IDs, but not fraudulent welfare cards. Clearly, state law needs to be changed. Illegal immigrants who are not eligible to receive state benefits should not have welfare or medical assistance cards in their possession. I was appalled to learn that officials from the Immigration and Naturalization Service instructed Chief Morrissey to simply release a suspected illegal immigrant. When a police officer believes he or she has proof that they have detained an illegal immigrant, clear instructions on how to proceed, what information to collect, and who to contact should be in place.
My name's Mike Morrissey. I have been in law enforcement for only 6.5 years, and for 4.5 of those years I've been the chief of the Beaver Meadows Police Department. Over those short years, I've encountered many dilemmas concerning illegal immigration. I have apprehended over 100 illegal immigrants, of whom approximately 80% were wanted for reentry, random crimes, and for having a gang affiliation. I myself had tried on many occasions, and by attempting to take many different avenues to no avail, to fix this disturbing circumstance occurring in the town of Beaver Meadows. I am without a doubt certain that this illegal immigration problem that I am encountering in Beaver Meadows is occurring all over the nation, or I wouldn't be here before you today. Generally speaking, in the past, Immigration Customs Enforcement, from here on I will refer to them as they're known as ICE, has been helpful towards Beaver Meadows in the apprehension of the illegal immigrants. However, it seems to me over the past 2 years, their policies, their procedures have considerably changed, making it difficult for my agency and other law enforcement agencies to detain confirmed illegal immigrants. One of the nation's biggest problems is due to the United States becoming so lackadaisical about taking immediate action when encountered with an illegal immigrant. That it has set negative undertone for law enforcers all over the country. While working for other agencies, I, as a patrolman, have been told, if you encounter an illegal immigrant, just let them go. We don't want the havoc of dealing with ICE. This proves that it's not just my agency being compromised. Every law enforcement agency that I have come in contact with has expressed their displeasure with the system. I can easily say that maybe the place to begin is by using the simplistic ideals that we all learned in grade school, to start with who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who should be held responsible? What should we do to correct this inconsistency? When we, as law enforcers, call, are we going to be heard? Where are we going to get the support from? Why are law enforcement agencies not being supported? In addition to, how do we handle this? I will now share with you some of my aggravation that I have encountered while in patrol in Beaver Meadows. Starting with the most recent, I'll go back just a few of the most intriguing cases. On June 23, 2011, I picked up 3 illegal immigrants on traffic violations. The first illegal immigrant had just been arrested and was awaiting trial for aggravated assault in the state of Virginia. The second illegal immigrant had just been released from prison on a manslaughter charge. And the third illegal immigrant was a confirmed blood gang member. When I contacted ICE, they refused to issue detainers on any of the illegal immigrants. I was informed by ICE to release all 3 of the illegal immigrants, stating that they had all the prudent information and that they would monitor the situation and do a follow-up on a later date. On May 5, 2011, ICE failed to issue a detainer on an illegal immigrant that I had arrested. I pulled over this illegal immigrant for speeding. I asked for his identification. He presented me with a Mexican voter registration card. He also presented me with access welfare benefit cards from 2 different states. He was also in the possession of $3,000 cash. I should add that he did state that he was currently unemployed. However, the best part about it is he admitted to being in the country illegally for 6 years. When I contacted ICE, I was told to release the illegal immigrant. Here I will ask a what. What is the policy of ICE that uses to determine how an illegal immigrant who have violated the laws in the country illegally? If an illegal immigrant doesn't possess a valid United States address, how does ICE account for the whereabouts if they refuse to respond to the charges that I file? If an illegal immigrant is in this country illegally and taking advantage of public benefits, is ICE required to notify the proper government agencies? Illegal immigrants are stealing welfare benefits. Rhetorically asking the next question, because I know the answer to this, but maybe it needs to be asked to the government. Isn't it illegal to steal welfare benefits? That is still a crime. Okay, on July 13, 2009, I pulled over a pickup truck for speeding. The driver, an illegal immigrant from Mexico, I was presented with a valid Pennsylvania driver's license, a valid identification card, a fake Social Security card, all under another name. I then discovered in his possession that he had a tax refund statement indicating that he received a United States federal tax refund of $7,600. On July 25, 2008, I pulled over a pickup truck operating with numerous vehicle code violations. While utilizing my spotlight, I viewed 6 men in the bed of the pickup truck, all whom were illegal immigrants. In addition to there were 3 men seated in the front cab of the pickup truck, also illegal immigrants. I called ICE and informed them of the men that I have detained. I could not get an ICE representative to come and assist me with transporting them to a detention center. ICE informed me to make arrangements to bring the 9 men to a detention center, which was located 116 miles in York, Pennsylvania. When I explained that I didn't have the means with just 1 police vehicle in addition to minimal manpower, I was told to let them walk free. It should be stated that the vehicle was registered to a United States citizen who was allowing the illegal immigrants to operate his vehicle, and I did charge him accordingly. To conclude, I'd like to provide you with some interesting information that I've learned through my investigations. If an illegal immigrant driving in Pennsylvania is pulled over for any vehicle code or traffic violation, and the law enforcement officer issuing the citation, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation will automatically issue a driver's license number as to allow the officer to place it on the citation. Having a valid Pennsylvania driver's license number in the system is extremely dangerous. When an illegal immigrant is stopped an additional time and they give only their name and date of birth, that law enforcement officer will present the information to the communication center and retrieve the status of the illegal immigrant having a suspended driver's license from the communication center. The information will always show now that that particular illegal immigrant has a suspended driver's license. If a law enforcement officer does not have a mobile laptop and is unaware of this fact, the law enforcement officer pulling over the illegal immigrant would be led to believe that due to them having a suspended license and then they are a legal resident, because you can only acquire a Pennsylvania driver's license by being a United States citizen, which would keep that illegal from being investigated. On numerous occasions, I have realized with an illegal immigrant in custody that they had already been pulled over by many different law enforcement agencies. Unfortunately, they were issued citations and released by those agencies without the agency knowing they were illegal immigrants because of the simple fact that Pennsylvania Department of Transportation issued them a driver's license number, which created them a driver's history. I'd like to thank you very much for your time. I greatly appreciate being able to address all of you. If you have any questions, concerns, I hope we could work together to solve this matter that I've brought forth. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Morisi. We appreciate you taking time and appreciate you sharing your personal experience in law enforcement and dealing with some of the illegal alien population here in our state. Just some shocking information, and we really appreciate you sharing with us the fact that drivers' license numbers are being issued for illegal aliens, because we've had some contact from out of state saying that illegals are getting hold of Pennsylvania drivers' licenses, and that might be part of the issue, that maybe when some of the out-of-state officers are pulling it up through the system, they're seeing a number also and not actually seeing the physical ID, because I know we've tried to contact our state police and the Attorney General's office to try and get to the bottom of this. I know there was some issues with PennDOT having some people who were selling licenses illegally, and they are being prosecuted or have been prosecuted for that. But we thought something else was going on. I think what you've described today will help us to hopefully go after the root cause of that issue. Members who have questions? Representative Vitelli.
Thanks for coming here today. I mean, just to be clear, I mean, nothing prevents you right now, if anyone, either an illegal immigrant or a citizen, if you have reasonable suspicion to believe a crime's been committed, nothing that prevents you from stopping that person right now, right?
Correct.
So there's nothing in the current law that really is preventing you from dealing with public safety right now, is there?
Excuse me? Could you...
Nothing in current law right now that's preventing you from dealing with public safety, in other words, fighting crime, is there? I'm trying to get at the problem here. There's nothing with regard to the way the law is currently written that's prevent you from dealing with public safety right now, does there? I mean, you can arrest people who are committing crimes, right?
Absolutely.
And if an illegal immigrant's caught, burglarizing a house, you could arrest him like if a citizen was burglarizing a house, right?
Correct.
Okay. Again, this isn't a leading question or anything. I just really want to understand. Obviously, a lot of this legislation I don't agree with, but there may be some good stuff in it. Tell me maybe some of the bills here that might give you some help in fighting crime. Maybe some of the pieces of, there's a lot of bills here, but are there some pieces of some bills that you think, yes, this will help me reduce crime because?
Just I really didn't get into the information that well, but some of the stuff I was looking over, I can't give you a number to the bill, but some of the stuff seemed very good. I mean, just
give me a concept, like a concept.
Like the simple fact with that E-Verify system, that seems like it would help out a great deal. Other than that,
because,
excuse me,
and how would that help you fight crime?
Because it would actually, if an immigrant comes over to the country legally, they're required by law to carry their work visa, green card. Now, due to the fact if they had that E-Verify system, that's just one more tool that we would have to help identify what we're dealing with.
So you would be in your patrol car, and how would you use that? I'm sorry.
Well, eventually through time, I'm sure via mobile access, we have laptops in our car, we'd be able to use that to verify the status.
And how would that help you catch a criminal or
Well, it would help us be able to identify who we have pulled over.
Okay.
Thank you, Representative Vitelli. Representative Gobler.
Thank you, Chief, for your testimony and for your time today. I'm interested in the portion of your testimony you gave where you mentioned, just for example, the gentleman with the foreign voter registration card and United States welfare benefit cards from two different states, as you mentioned it. Do you currently have any way, if you were to find a situation like this, and obviously through your testimony we've gathered that ICE hasn't been much help to you, do you have any way to contact or interface with any of these state agencies to report such a violation, to report fraud in this manner, as you mentioned, welfare fraud being illegal? With this information you have, you got somebody with a foreign voter registration card and you've got a domestic welfare benefit card. Do you have any way of reporting that to state agencies?
I tried contacting welfare. It was actually the Scranton office in Pennsylvania. They informed me that because I asked, can I confiscate these cards? They stated no. I must give them the cards back. I could copy down the information and then relay the prudent information on to them, but I'm not allowed to physically take the card.
And do you have any idea or concept of whether or not the state agencies followed up, in this case the Scranton office, followed up on those cases? Or you would have no way of knowing, correct?
Correct.
I think that's a great kind of additional insight. You know, in this committee, we're always looking for ways that we can kind of attack problems from different ways, and it sounds to me like we need to have a better fraud reporting system in place, so that when you find situations just as that, and I would just want to thank you for being diligent enough. I think there are a lot of people out there that have been so dissuaded because of the roadblocks that they've reached. I thank you for doing your due diligence and following up any way you can. I thank you for your public service. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, when you contacted the Pennsylvania Department of Welfare office,
correct,
they instructed you to give a card back to an individual who you could tell them had this card and didn't deserve to have it, and it was under a fraudulent name.
I did ask them, can I take can I confiscate the access cards off the individuals? The representative from the welfare office said no. You must give them back the cards and copy down the prudent information and then forward it to their office. And this one instance here, that wasn't the first time. I'd sit over a dozen times I'll have an illegal immigrant with an access card. This was just one example.
So it's just unbelievable that the Department of Welfare would have a law enforcement officer on the line that says that they have somebody that has a card who shouldn't have one, and they wouldn't instruct you to confiscate it.
And he admitted to me that he did not have a job, and he did have $3,000 cash, that particular individual, not having a job.
Not having a job, but illegally having a public benefits card.
Correct.
That and it was not under his name. It was under
two different names.
Under two different names.
Correct.
And they still wouldn't have you confiscate it. Well, that's an area that I think Representative Vitale had questioned you on what in the law doesn't allow you to exercise your job and enforce the law for public safety. I think changing the law to ensure that the Department of Welfare needs to work with our law enforcement when you actually come upon fraudulently used cards and confiscate those would be one change we could make. Representative Payton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your testimony. The one question I did have is, with your experience, how long have you been the chief?
I've been the chief of Beaver Meadows for 4.5 years.
For 4.5 years. And in your time, have you seen this as, can you quantify the problem? Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? What's the level of incidences where you are running into?
It's definitely increasing.
Okay, by a percent. I mean, you can.
It's tough to say, but I see it more and more. I mean, like in my left pocket here, I just have an example. When I stop a vehicle, I mean, one of the flags that'll come out is they'll hand me, I have like 25 to 30 fake identification cards right here, and that's just a red flag. But there are times that I will stop an illegal immigrant that has a Pennsylvania driver's license. And I can't say for sure, but I do believe it's the fact PennDOT's issuing them driver's license numbers. I'm getting off the question here, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
So how do you determine whether or not one's illegal or not?
But they'll have a Pennsylvania driver's license with other cards in their wallet, and I'll see it when they open their wallet up. I mean, they stick right out like a sore thumb.
And that's your first indication that someone is illegal or not?
Absolutely. Having a fake why would a legal resident have a fake identification card?
I had one.
Oh, yeah, if you're 18 years old trying to get into the...
Just saying.
I understand.
Anecdotally.
I understand. I see your point, but that's just a flag. It's not going to determine their status, of course. It's just it's a flag. It's a tool to use.
And I may have entered an establishment that required me to be 21 at some point in time. I'm just saying. Thank you.
You do know it's a crime, though.
And Chief, you've been able to confiscate the fake IDs under the law.
I'm allowed to
but not confiscate the welfare access cards.
Correct.
So we need to change that.
Correct.
So, appreciate your testimony today. Thank you for being with us, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you for your work in serving our community and our state and your law enforcement endeavors. We appreciate you putting yourself on the line for your community and for our state. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
If you have any questions or ideas about what you have seen, visit my website or contact my office. The address and phone number will appear on your screen.